orders from the boardroom or microtransactions, please. Ignore the backlash, bring them to their knees. Todd smiles from his vault of endless gold, while gamers rage quit, feeling bought and sold. But way to twist the orchestra rebels. Symphony of satire ringing corporate bells. Final thought. Oh, the great symphony plays on forevermore. Todd Howard's lesson etched in lore. Re-release the pain, hike the price again. Mediocre empires, where does it end? Xbox greed lords, hear our metal roar. Will pirate your seas or just play no more? Air dress your fury in the key of good night. Microsoft, turn off the light.
Oh, Microsoft. There's always something with those guys. I'll tell you what, there is always something with those guys. You can't take them anywhere. You really can't. How are you guys? Hopefully you're feeling good. I have had a rough whatever. It's been 2 days. Yeah, because so I have two PCs, right? First world problems. And as a result of that, I'm actively tweaking things because some things had to... There. I'm actively changing stuff because basically my streaming PC at one point died. The whole thing, it just like went belly up, and it looks like it corrupted the SSDs, so I lost a crap ton of footage I had recorded for Ghost of Yotei. Oops. Gone. Forever. Fried. I lost the stream backup. This is the real problem. I lost almost all of the sound bites. I still have like, I have that, but I lost like almost all of them. What else? I mean, just naturally also, it like fried the RAM, it fried the motherboard, it fried the CPU, it fried you name it. So I frantically drove down to Micro Center yesterday. Shout out Micro Center, they're awesome. And Valaha, I think, maybe?
You stupid fuck.
No, that's an old clip of Cammy.
Cause I'm an island boy.
So I have sound bites from like 4 years ago because I had a backup of the GoXLR profile on my server from like 2022 or something. And so that's what all those sound bites are. It was a coordinated attack from Xbox. What it seems like happened is that the power supply probably had some sort of malfunction or surge or something, and that affected one of the SSDs, and that got corrupted. And so then Microsoft, like, you boot into Windows, sometimes you have problems, and then it's like, oh, let's repair it. And so it will go and run like Windows diagnostics and try to repair itself. It couldn't even do that because the area of the SSD where Windows writes its logs for repairing was corrupted. So it couldn't even try to repair itself. And so we basically just ended up in a spot where the computer was toast. So we basically rebuilt the whole damn thing. I was able to salvage the capture cards, the case for the most part, some fans got swapped out. And of course the GPU. Pretty much everything else is brand new in it. And this is one of those fun things because you replace everything. And if you do a good job and everything goes as well as it possibly can, you guys will notice no difference at all. And neither will I. Like, it's the most frustrating kind of upgrade because it's the kind of upgrade that nobody cares about and that if it works, you should never know about. In theory, I should be able to come back on today and nothing's changed. So frantically, the reason we're starting late today and the reason why we didn't stream anything yesterday or do anything, I had another video that was supposed to go up yesterday. The reason why none of that's happening is because I've had to basically entirely rebuild all of our OBS stuff and everything like that. And I think everything will work. In theory, all of my Steam Deck stuff also had to get redone, or Stream Deck, sorry. So all of this had to get tweaked and redone for all of the videos. I also can toggle the chat on and off. The start and end screens are still kind of glitching. This one's moving, but this one's frozen. I don't know what that's about, but we're in the process. The alert box also in theory should work, but I also am not sure about that. So if you send like Twitch subs or super chats and stuff and it's like glitching out, I am sorry. We're trying. Okay, we're doing our best, my friends. No promises today. The fact that we're up and running it all, I find kind of amazing. Shout out to my brother Ben for helping me wire everything yesterday. Jacob came over as well for some good moral support, and we got it done. We got it done. Oh, the alert box is working. Syndicate tested it. Thank you, Syndicate. Love the content. Keep up the good work. Thank you, my friend. Thank you. I'm glad to have you here. The one thing I'm iffy on is the freaking microphone, because all of my settings were for like my mic settings were all lost in it too. And I had like fine-tuned the hell out of that. So I knew exactly how I liked it. Now it's not, it doesn't want to work. Doesn't want to work. I don't know what the deal is. Anyway, Ghost of Yotei's Fire. Yeah, dude, PlayStation very generously hooked me up with a week of early access to it. So I've played so much of Ghost of Yotei. I do have a video coming on it. We are basically just waiting for approval. And then we can publish it. And yeah, we'll have that up. Overall, really, like Spark Notes impressions. It is like they just took all the dials, cranked them all up, save for one element. And I don't think it's a bad thing about Ghost of Yotei. It's just something I love extra about Ghost of Tsushima. And that is like the narrative nuance of like the samurai versus the ninja approach. You know, I love the idea in Ghost of Yotei that as you go from mission to mission, there's this constant conflict where Jin doesn't want to fight dishonorably because that's what his like uncle is telling him not to do. You know, we don't kill people in the shadows. We don't poison. You know, it's this idea of honor. And that is a concept and a conflict within him and all of the characters that carries through the entire story. And I love that. And of course, no spoilers. It's kind of like the main point at the end of the story. And it's just, there's nothing really like that in Ghost of Yotei. It's not that Ghost of Yotei's bad or the story's bad. It's just that Tsushima had that one extra really interesting aspect to the story that I think elevated it up to a really amazing level. And there just isn't anything quite on that level in Ghost of Yotei. Again, it's not bad. It's just that Tsushima is exceptional, you know? Other than that, it's been super impressive. Like all sorts of little bitty improvements and tweaks where you're like, they thought of it. They learned. It's really cool. Wouldn't make sense in Yotei since she's not a samurai. Well, I mean, it literally wouldn't make sense. This takes place like 300 years after the fact. And they crafted Tsushima very intentionally with that conflict being at the core of everything. And that's why I think it works so well. And so I'm not saying that they should have like forced that in. I'm just saying that's a mechanic that was present in that game that's not, or an aspect of the story that was there.
Eric Balco donated $10
God.
through Super Chat. Love your videos and streams. My GF, who is not a gamer, even enjoys watching your videos, especially the company news and financial breakdowns.
Oh, sweet. Thank you. Thank you for being here. Very generous 10, by the way. My goodness. Is it what I'm wearing? Is that it? Is that it? Or do you just feel bad for me? That might be it too. Thank you. I'm glad to hear that. And we have more business aspect stuff to talk about today because Microsoft's coming out swinging today. And my favorite thing is when a corporation tries to frame something as if it's really good news and then everyone sees right through it immediately. 2 words, more rewards. They don't mention in this post that they're skyrocketing the price, that they also have changed a bunch of stuff so you can't redeem your points for Game Pass subscription anymore. They don't mention any of that, of course, no, but they're like, no, this is actually a really good thing, even though it's objectively worse. It's just like, it's so stupid. But we're gonna go through that. We're gonna go through that because there do be a lot. There do be a lot. Tier, thank you for the 8 months. Microsoft be tripping again. I've seen some people try to hand wave it away as like, well, really, you shouldn't be upset with Xbox. This is because of tariffs, as if tariffs affects digital subscription models, which they don't. And then somebody else was like, well, this is more a matter of inflation. And I was like, bro, are we really going to pretend like they weren't raising prices, inflation or not? They always were going to. This is like from the start. This was the plan. Like, of course, everybody's been saying this for years who has any idea what they're talking about. Like, the plan was always you corner the market, and then once they're locked in, you raise the price. Once your audience and your customers are acclimated and specifically reliant on the subscription model, you raise the price. Once Netflix and chill becomes a standard activity, you raise the price. That's how you do it. Eric, thank you for the 10. Release the candle cut and Xbox. Hope you're doing well. I am doing well, my friend. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. We can't spam the chat, my friend.
Donated $9.99 through Super Chat. Release the candle cut and Xbox. Hope you're doing well.
There it is. There it is. I don't know what you're talking about with the candle cut. I have no idea what that's a reference to. There is no candle cut. The candle cut is an illusion. See, it's kind of glitch. That was weird. It was like glitching out. I wonder what that's about. Sometimes I just don't want to know because I'm scared of what I'll find out. You know, that's what I'm afraid of. I'm scared. Do I think Claire Obscure Expedition 33 will win Game of the Year? I am, as of right now, more inclined to believe that it will than that it won't. I think the odds are split across a bunch of different games, of course, but like, you know, maybe there's like a 40% chance Claire Obscure takes it, like 25% chance that Silk Song takes it, 10% chance that Death Stranding 2 takes it, 15% chance that KCD 2 takes it. You know, like, I think it breaks all down, but I think of the candidates that could win it, I think Claire Obscure is probably the leading candidate. Yeah. Yeah. Yotei to PC in 6 months? I have no idea. Maybe not 6 months, maybe a year. I would love it in 6 months, don't get me wrong, but let's be realistic about this. Let's be real. Okay. Okay. Nah, not Death Stranding. Dude, never underestimate the power of Jeff's love. Never underestimate it. Jeff's love knows no bounds. Jeff's love is all-encompassing, all-enveloping, and when he loves Death Stranding 2, you better believe that counts for something. I'm not saying that it's going to win. I don't think that that's going to happen. The other component is that a lot of game journalists love Death Stranding, and that's more what the Game Awards is. The Game Awards is not necessarily like an award show to find what is objectively the most impressive game or what game deserves a sequel the most. That's not what it's about. It is ultimately, what do game journalists love the most this year? That's what it is. And if you look at it through that lens, you're going to start to steer towards certain games and away from others. Like, that's just how it works. You know, that's how it works. Let's see. Yeah, I don't know why we're having problems with this today, guys. Maybe we have some new faces. We just, to be clear, you can't spam the chat with the same message 15 times. If I don't read it, it's either because I missed it or read something else first. And when you repeatedly like spam the chat, we just have to put you in timeout. Like that's, I feel like we're in kindergarten, you know? Like, what are we doing? I appreciate the passion, but we gotta share the chat, okay? Share the chat. Little bit. Should we just get right into this, talk about this before we get into something more fun? Should we just do this? Let's just do this. Okay. New segment. That was reverbalicious. Wow. Tweak that. Okay. Well, that's a little better. Anyway, okay, Sota on Twitch, thank you, my friend. Let's talk about Game Pass. So, in case you somehow missed it, I don't know where you've been, but all morning it's been the talk of the town. Xbox has raised prices once more. You ready for my surprised face? I'm shocked. I'm stunned. They are increasing the price by as much as 50%. 50. A full 50%. This is not, like, to be clear, inflation. People are like, oh, this is a response to inflation. Dude, they raised the price of the Xbox 2 terabyte version by like $200 in a single year. Okay? Like, okay, some tariff impact there. Okay, like that's an additional question. But like, let's not beat around the bush. This is a combination, perhaps, if we're being fair. This is a combination of inflation making the value of each dollar lessened. So they need to get more dollars to have the same purchasing power to pay for everything they're offering. Okay. Cost of living's gone up because of inflation for the developers, which means prices on developing games goes up, so they have to make more money. Okay. Totally get that. 50% though in a year, like 50%. What are we doing? Remember, in July of 2024, Microsoft raised the price of Xbox Game Pass Ultimate from $16.99 a month to $19.99 a month. Remember that when that was like the scandal? Remember when they did that? That was like, wow. With similar price increases occurring across all other markets. At the same time, it introduced a new standard tier at the original Game Pass Ultimate price point that lacks day one game access. Now, just 14 short months later, Microsoft has once again hiked the price of Ultimate, which jumps from $20 a month to $30 a month. That's an increase of 50% in the US, or an extra $120 per year. In the UK, the jump is 53.33%, with Ultimate rising from £15 to £23, or an extra £96 a year. In a blog post reviewed by IGN, Microsoft justified the price hike by adding various features to Game Pass and some big new games, including Hogwarts Legacy. You know, that game from almost 3 years ago, which I think is a solid game. Does that mean that everybody should pay 50% more? What? How does that make any sense? And they did this across their social media, to be fair. They even did this one because they also made changes to their reward tier program. And if you don't know the Microsoft rewards program, I've never put much time into it, but I had a friend in high school that I keep, you know, like those friends from high school where you check in with them once every like 18 months and you're like, oh, you're still alive. That's great. He's one of those friends. And he is one of the guys that like grinds out Microsoft, Xbox, whatever points. And like, that's his thing. And he has, I don't even know how many thousands upon thousands upon thousands, but that's still a program. And look at this. They framed it 2 words, more rewards. And they shared this post where they're like, oh yeah, so Essential, Premium, and Ultimate tiers, you get different rewards for the points based on each tier that you're paying for. So if you pay for Ultimate and you're paying $30 a month here, you get access to quests. You get access to exclusive quests. bonus earn rate for quests, so you get more points by completing those smaller activities and challenges in the games. You can store more points. So yes, they have capped the amount of points that you can gain in a single year. So if you pay even more, you can see that if you pay $360 a year, you can get up to 100,000 points in a year. Shop and earn max points you can spend per USD. I can't read. Max points you can earn per USD spent when you buy games and add-ons, 10, 20, or 40, and additional points for select Game Pass library games and add-on purchases. Nothing for essential, 5% for premium, and 10% for ultimate. Maybe I'm just a boomer or something. It's so insane to me that you will pay more money to get rewards that you get if you pay more money. Like, it's one thing if it's like for an exclusive luxury credit card or something. And you're like, I travel a lot. I want access to a lounge, like the Delta Lounge or Centurion Lounge. I get that. Because like you're getting something tangible, real. I've been to the Centurion Lounge at JFK. It was nice. I had some really good mac and cheese there. And several mimosas before my flight. It was great. It was awesome. That's a tangible thing. I get that, because you're getting the card, you get rewards for the card, but you also get these tangible things. This has never made sense to me where it's like, I'm going to upgrade. I was just going to pay for premium, but I'm going to pay for ultimate because I want 4x points and I want additional points for select Game Pass library game. Like, who is upgrading their membership based on these things? I just don't know. There's got to be some people out there, like my friend from high school, who are like, oh, hell yeah, finally 4x points. I don't know who they are. The other component of this, though, that they conveniently do not mention is that they have now removed the ability to redeem points for Game Pass membership, which is something you could do right before this. So prior to this, if you grinded this out, you could actually redeem the points you earned for Game Pass to play the games, to then redeem for Game Pass, to play more games, to get more points, to then redeem for more Game Pass. Granted, it's kind of like an infinite money glitch because you can just play all the games on Game Pass and then not have to pay for Game Pass. So it's just free games. I get it. Why they'd want to get rid of that loophole. But to pretend as though this is some sort of like big gift is kind of hilarious. It's like literally two words, more rewards, when it's just objectively worse in almost every way. Because most people were grinding out points to redeem for Game Pass, and now they can't do that, which kind of defeats the purpose. And then you can see by the replies, sorted from Donnie, canceling the subscription. 3 words, $30 effing dollars. Pete, goodbye for now, canceled his subscription. This one though is this one is less impactful. As you can see, it ends in July of 2026. So I guess he prepaid for a year or something. I don't wow, you showed them. This one, okay, 2 words, subscription canceled. Yeah, people have not responded too well. This one, Satya. So we looked at the sales numbers and the state of the economy, and we determined that the best way to correct course with Xbox is to raise the price of consoles and Game Pass to win back market share. It is pretty insane. But I think it shows that whatever metrics they are looking at, they feel pretty confident. They have skyrocketed the price of their physical hardware, and they're also 50% is skyrocketing the price. I mean, imagine if your iPhone that cost $1,000 this year, next year costs $1,500. You'd be like, what the hell are they doing? That's what they just did to Game Pass Ultimate. Like, it's insane. And it seems that gamers have not responded too well because they have literally crashed the page to cancel Game Pass subscriptions. Paul posted this, as you can see. People are reporting that they can't cancel because it is glitching out. Some people are getting it to go through. Others say you have to contact support. You can't actually cancel it. So they froze the ability to cancel it online and are making people go through the steps to contact support to do it. Either way, not a great look you know? Not what you want to see, frankly. Not what you want to see if you're Xbox. But this is what happens when you have more money than God. You spend ridiculous amounts of money to acquire market share, and you do that by eating the cost of low memberships and subscriptions. You do that for years and years and years to try and convince people that Game Pass is the actually very pro-consumer, which it is a pro-consumer offering in the sense that it's the cheapest way to get access to a ridiculously huge library of games. But the math never mathed. The math never really made sense for how much they were pumping out and how much money they were leaving on the table by losing like actual day one sales at full price. So the shoe was always going to drop. Like there was always going to be a point where they needed to start increasing the subscription price to start balancing everything out and paying for everything. And that's what started to happen here. Is that they're starting to adjust it that way. And it's just, I'm shocked that it's happening so suddenly and sharply. It makes me think that like Satya maybe sent an order down from on high and was like, we need to get these numbers looking better. So you're going to spike the price and we're going to do this, this, and this. And that's why they're doing it so suddenly instead of like a 10% increase over time, you know, which frankly probably would have made more sense. I wonder why the alerts are glitching like that. That's really weird. It's really strange. I wonder why it's doing that. Maybe I'll just refresh it. So that's what they have elected to do as they continue on. This is not just for Ultimate, to be fair. Game Pass Ultimate goes up 50% from $20 a month to $30. Game Pass Premium has also gone up or is going to $15 a month, the same as the old standard subscription. And the Xbox Game Pass Essential is $10 a month, the same as the old core subscription. And then PC Game Pass is at $16.50 a month, up from $11.99. So if you just want the PC Game Pass option, you can get it there. But if you want the ultimate thing across all of the platforms, it's $30. The updating pricing goes into effect today for new subscribers and November 4th for current subscribers. As part of the announcement, Microsoft added more than 45 new games to Game Pass. That list of games is here, and it is basically a huge collection, not just Hogwarts Legacy, but a huge collection of Assassin's Creed and basically Ubisoft classics that go back into the 2010s. So it's a huge collection of all of those that are just included day one now. Which, I mean, Ubisoft has been getting close to Microsoft for a while. You'll remember after the FTC like lawsuit against them to stop Activision Blizzard, the company that got rights to the streaming rights in the UK for Microsoft and for all of the stuff they were doing over there was actually Ubisoft. So they've been getting closer and closer over time. So that's not really a shocker there. City Skylines 2, Deep Rock Galactic, Diablo on PC, Fallout 2, Fallout Tactics. Okay. Some of these I honestly thought were already on there. Disney Dreamlight Valley. So they got some deals with Warner Brothers. Interesting. So the $10 price increase to $30 is justifiable by adding old Ubisoft Plus classics to the library of the Ultimate tier permanently. I'm not a Game Pass subscriber, but I wouldn't be happy with that trade. I genuinely don't know why they wouldn't just do like a little additional add-on. Like, is that how they, or did they used to do it like that with EA Access or EA Play, whatever they call it, where like you buy Game Pass for $15 a month, and if you want the EA library, you pay an extra $5, and if you want access to the Ubisoft library, you pay an extra $5, and that gives you access to all of that. That to me seems much cleaner than this, but this is how they're choosing to do it. And I honestly don't know how sensitive the user base will be to this, because I think a lot of people will still, and I'm not talking about like the people like us that are talking about this and are talking about games day in, day out and are aware of all of this. I think a lot of people, let's be honest, who have the charge set to auto renew month to month, they're going to see, oh, is my mic still going? Oh yeah, it is. My headphones just died and then went like, bzzz. That was weird. Anyway, it's back to normal now. I don't know what that was. Things are breaking. I think a lot of people out there who are going to have their accounts set to auto renew are probably not even going to notice. It's going to go to 30 and they'll just be like, oh, a little more money is out of my account this month. Oh, well, I guess it's just how things are. And they're going to continue on with their day. And they probably won't even notice that Game Pass specifically saw a price hike, because it's not just Game Pass Ultimate. I think the idea is if you already were subscribed to Ultimate, you probably have enough expendable income where an extra $10 out of your account a month is not that big of a deal. So you'll just hand wave it away. And the other people on the lower tiers, the raises have been smaller and more incremental because I think they'll be more sensitive. But the whole idea is that you get subscribed, you don't notice that the price is raised, and then you get used to it, and then they do it again. This is kind of like the age-old strategy. When I worked at Best Buy, some of you out there may still work at Best Buy, and you have my deepest condolences. But when I worked at Best Buy, they had just introduced the total tech support plan, which at the time, I don't know what it is now, but at the time it was like $200 a year. And my sales managers, they were telling all of us, like, they're trying to pitch it to us, how to sell it to people. And what was so gross was that they were like, yeah, this offering really appeals to the elderly because the elderly need help installing their tech. And like in the back of my head, I'm like, is it also because the elderly people will probably forget that they signed up for a $200 a year subscription and will not cancel it? And if they want to cancel it, they won't know how because they don't know how to get on the website or call support and do all of that. Like, is that a component? And at one point after like weeks, the whole store was not selling total tech support except for the home theater because it included installs on like Geek Squad stuff. So if we sold a TV with a mounting, like it was cheaper to do total tech support because they would include all of the services in one package. But everyone else couldn't sell total tech support. And so the managers kept hounding us and kept being like, you need to do it. You need to sell at least one today. Otherwise we're gonna have to write you up and all this toxic crap. And at one point we finally, like, I don't remember who said it, but somebody on our team was like, yeah, well, I mean, I feel uncomfortable targeting old people for this because they're just going to forget to cancel it. And they're like, well, that's part of the business model. That's part of what makes it make sense. It was like, you just said the thing. Like, I don't think you're supposed to say that. You just admitted the problem. That we're like predatorily targeting the elderly to make this profitable. Like, everybody knows that's what you're doing. Everybody knows that Game Pass Ultimate price hikes and all this is built around most people forgetting to cancel it or being like, eh. And just, it's so difficult. It's like the gym subscriptions. You go sign up for the gym and you're like, I'm going to do really well. And you sign up in January. And by February, you haven't gone in 3 weeks. And you're like, okay, I'll cancel my membership. But then they tell you, no, you have to walk into the location to do it. You have to fill out 3 pages of paperwork, do an exit interview, give the owner a back rub. And it's like all this stupid stuff just to cancel your gym membership. And so they just bank on you going, it's so much of a hassle, I'm not going to bother. And maybe I'll go to the gym next week and I'll get back on the horse. And then before you know it, you've had that membership for like 3 years. You know? And in this case, I think it's the same basic thing. Everything is going to be built around doing these very incremental increases and also relying on the auto renew. Everything you do, whether it's new consoles, whether it's the ROG Ally, Xbox Ally Plus Ultra, or whatever, they're going to start bundling in Xbox Game Pass subscriptions. It's going to be bundled in, I think, with like Samsung TVs because they do the Samsung platform stuff. So every time you want to play a game or you buy anything even roughly adjacent to Xbox, you're going to get a little voucher for a free month of Game Pass Ultimate or a free 3 months of Game Pass Ultimate. But in order to sign up for it, you have to connect your credit card, you have to turn on auto billing, you have to turn on all this stuff. And by the time a month, 2 months, 3 months passes, you will have forgotten that you signed up for it. You'll have forgotten how to cancel it, and you'll be in too deep. People like you who are on the stream are tech savvy. You can figure it out. If you need to cancel, you can figure it out. The average consumer, I think it's much more of a hassle and a hurdle to get over, which is the point. That's the whole strategy. And beyond that, it's also just the Game Pass has a huge library of games, including live service games that people have built up a ton of time and a ton of like in-game rewards and stuff in. And so to cancel their Game Pass subscription is seen as abandoning all of that. So people are entrenched in the ecosystem, and now if you want to stay in the ecosystem, you have to keep paying tons of money. You know, it's really kind of gross. It's something we always knew was going to happen. I think there was a video I did like a year and a half ago. I don't remember if it was a stream segment or if it was a main channel video, but I remember talking about this and I was like, yes, right now Game Pass is an incredible pro-consumer offering. There is no better value in gaming right now. Microsoft is a $4 trillion company. They did not become a $4 trillion company by giving handouts to their customers, by having super low prices, and by being like, you know, the Arizona iced tea guy who's like, yeah, our drinks are 99 cents. I don't need to raise the price. I'm good. You know, they didn't become a $4 trillion company by acting like that. They became a $4 trillion company by being cutthroat sharks, by cornering the markets and raising the prices, by, you know, firing the studios and shutting down studios who started to unionize. That's how they play the game, man. That's how they do it. That's why they're at the top, why they have so much money. But don't get it twisted. They are not your friend, okay? They are not your friend. They never have been, okay? When they were being friendly to you, it was to lure you into the trap you are now in so that now they can raise the price. Like, that's what the plan has always been. None of this is shocking. None of this is surprising, really. I find it surprising in the extent that I didn't expect them to go full 50% price hikes out of nowhere, like in a day. I thought they'd maybe do it by $2 or like, you know, 10%. And then they raise it by another 10% 3-4 months later, and then another 10%. They're just going full 50% price hike, go from 20 to $30. Like, that's crazy to me, but they're doing it because they think they can get away with it, because they think a lot of people will still pay it. And they're probably right. You know, they're doing this also right before they rev up the marketing cycle for Black Ops 7, which I'm sure is not a coincidence. They're doing this right before the biggest game of the year in terms of like engagement and spending comes out. And I'm sure that's a piece of it too. Like, all of this is just part of the plan. You know, part of the plan. So, can't say I'm surprised. Honest question, though. And here's the thing. I want honest replies, because we all meme, we all joke, and we're sarcastic. And let's be honest. Here, the Red Flag Army, we sometimes can be a little bitchy. Let's be real with ourselves. Honest question, though. I want to hear from people who have Game Pass. Are you truly and honestly going to cancel your membership after seeing this? Like, honest question. Honest question. Are you actually going to cancel your membership, or are you going to like shrug and be annoyed by it and move on? Like, honest question. Let's see. I am not. Hell no. Already did. I did today. Not gonna join. Oh, well, that, I think that this does definitely put up a higher wall. If you didn't, or if you weren't already a member or a subscriber, I think this definitely makes it much harder to justify. Yeah, I can do a straw poll. I'm gonna just buy premium instead of ultimate. Well, that's the thing, is that because they raise the price for everything, now if you shrug it off and you go, I'm just gonna go and buy the premium one, yeah, you're going down a step, but also at the same time, they raise the price there. So you're still giving them a good chunk of change. Are you going to cancel your Game Pass sub? Ignore the capitalization. I don't want to change it. Yes. Already did. Will lower the tier Is it? No, that looks wrong. IE. Or no, and I will leave it didn't have a membership / won't. Is that fair? Yes, I will cancel. I already did. So yes, I will. But you haven't yet, as of this moment. Already did. Will lower the tier to a lower one. No, or I didn't have a membership / I won't now. Because I'm not even gonna bother putting in there like the possibility that, well, now I find it so compelling, I'm gonna have to get one. I wasn't gonna get one, but now I find it compelling. There, okay. I just put it in chat. It's a separate app, so people on Twitch and YouTube can all vote in it. And there, I just pinned it on both chats. So go in there. We can do this. And let's see. Show results. Already did. No. Okay. It's coming in. It's coming in. The results are coming in. Surprised 50+% didn't have a membership already. Okay. 18% say that this got them to cancel. Oh. Yeah, so while you guys are voting, Joni, you're right. I actually had where did I put it? I had a screen cap of that. Paul Tassi retweeted it. But yeah, Sam found this. When you go to try to cancel, at least when he posted this, the website breaks and then it says something went wrong on our end. Like they literally crashed the part of the website that is for canceling your subscription. And other people said that it's asking them to contact support if they want to cancel. So you can't even cancel through the website, which is crazy. Yeah, it was really, really slow when I canceled. I mean, for me, like you pause and you think, for some people, Game Pass is an absolute incredible value. If you're somebody that likes, you know, the buffet style of games, absolutely it can make amazing sense. But for others, it just doesn't. Like you might play one game every 2-3 months through the platform. Otherwise, it just doesn't really justify itself. And when you factor in $30 freaking dollars, like $30, you're at the point now where it used to be you buy Game Pass and like you play the one AAA game, and then for 4 months you get to play any other games in the library you want, and you still haven't paid as much as you would have if you bought the game at full price on day one, right? Now it's getting to the point where like 2 months we're at that limit, and the games are also all over the place in terms of quality. It's getting really hard to justify, you know? $30 goes far on the Steam sale. Dude, for real. They just had their autumn sale or whatever they call it. Yeah, autumn sale. Dude, Hogwarts Legacy, which is one of the big selling points that they're putting on Game Pass Ultimate. It's $12 on Steam right now. 80% off. This is why, again, I understand. I just described at the top of the stream all the PC problems I've been having. Like I just had a computer fry itself and give up the ghost yet. Like not last night, the night before. So PC gaming is not always sunshine and roses. But dude, seriously, if you're concerned about long-term affordability and stuff, it's not even close. The Fractured But Whole is $30. Not 30, $3. Normally 30. It's 90% off. You can get that for $3. Greedfall, Tree Fitty. Mafia 3 is $3. It's worth $3 for sure. Control is $4. Code Vein is $6. Like, this is why everybody's scared of Steam, because this is what you're competing with. Elite Dangerous is $2. That's ridiculous, dude. Stronghold Crusader is $16. That's a bit steep. It is from like 2001, but I freaking love Stronghold Crusader, so I am much more sympathetic. Anno 1800 is $6. It's crazy. It's crazy. All this is going to do, I think, like a lot of this is going to do, is it's just going to drive traffic over to Steam. Like, that's what it should do. That's what it should do, frankly. Results are looking like this. We've got 50% say that they didn't have a membership and they won't be signing up for one now. 18% are saying they already did cancel their membership. to be fair, 13% said that they will not be canceling. It won't affect their decision. But if you break it down in terms of these votes, the people that like had memberships based on what they're doing, the majority said they already canceled. A solid chunk said that they are not going to have their behavior affected. But if you combine these to these, like 75, 80% of people
Eric
are going to
Franke
lower the
donated
tier or cancel or already
$9.99
have.
through Super Chat.
It's not great.
Personally, I think Xbox has convinced the casual user base that it's a great value, when in reality, to me at least, it's Netflix and I doom scrolled it more than I used it. Steam sale.
Oh, it cut off. Yeah, I mean, I think they have definitely convinced people that it's good value because I think it has been a good value for a very long time. But as I said, like a year and a half, 2 years ago, it's a good value until it isn't. And when they're constantly raising the price, there will come a day where it doesn't make as much sense as it once did. Yes, it's true. Buying a game day one is $70, but then Game Pass makes it even more possible. If you pay for the ultimate tier, you can get that. Okay, that makes sense. But all that's going to happen now, as they continue to raise the price, I think, is that you're going to see a return and a hyperfixation on Steam. I think a lot of focus and effort is going to go there. And then also, I think you're going to see people starting to play the game that they did with like EA Play and then Ubisoft Plus, where if there's a huge game people really want, but they're iffy on the price, they sign up for Game Pass Ultimate for a month and then cancel it. Not a sponsor. They've been a sponsor in the past. And I still use them like literally every single day. So I just want to be clear. They have sponsored me in the past. I am not sponsored by them right now. So they are not paying me to say this. But privacy, this is the fix for all of this. Okay. All you do is you like make merchant specific cards. So you connect like your bank account to privacy.com. And then it creates a virtual card specific to Game Pass or Microsoft or whatever you want. And then you can lock it to one transaction. You can see literally here, spend limit. You can set spending limits. So if you're like, I only want to spend $30 this 1 month, you just set that limit. Or you just pause the card entirely after you get the first charge. Is it free? Yeah, no, you just connect your account and basically, like, you know how credit card companies get a little sliver every time you swipe the card as a transaction fee? They take the transaction fee instead of it going to like, you know, American Express or something. It works wonderfully. I use this for everything. Like, and it's also just a good idea in terms of security because you can have a card specific for Target, for Walmart, Whole Foods, Instacart, DoorDash, Steam, whatever. And then you can pause them individually and do all of that. It's quite nice. They do have some pro plans, it looks like. I haven't looked into those, but these are new. But yeah, I use this all the time. Love it dearly. So do that, and then you can sign up for a month and then cancel it or pause it, you know? It's great until privacy gets hacked. Isn't that true of everything, though? My bank account's great. Dude, I was one of those people. You remember Wells Fargo had that whole scandal where they were signing people up for accounts without their consent? That happened to me. Like, when I was a very, very broke, fresh out of high school kid, at one point that news broke, the class action lawsuits get announced, there's whole scandals, people are being called in front of Congress. And then all of a sudden in my like bank portal, it pops up with a new savings account with a very weird name to it. I don't remember what the name was, but it had, I don't remember how much money, but like a good chunk of change in it. And I looked back through it and it had been pulling 1 cent, 2 cent, 3 cents every single day and then hiding it because they have a system where you can hide accounts from yourself to help yourself like save money. That's the idea. Public facing at least. But basically they were just doing it to boost their number of new account signups to make their numbers look better. And then because they were pulling little bits of money out of your checking account, putting in this hidden savings account, it was also increasing their cash reserves and the amount of money that they were holding on hand without you knowing about it, which is insane. Pretty sure that's illegal. That's why it was a scandal. It was a crazy whole thing. Yeah, I just went through the process of changing banks. Yeah, could not be happier to finally leave. just crazy. It was unbelievable. And the executive that did that still got his bonus. He's totally fine. It's like, whatever. Goes in front of Congress. It's like, oh, whatever. Real quick, let me catch up on these real quick, because we had some very generous people pop in while I was rambling about stuff. I'm sorry I got to I got distracted and didn't get into these. La Pierre Phil, thank you for the sub over on Twitch. Ravens Mod, thank you for the sub. Soda, thank you again for the sub for 3 months. Booyah. Distro Theory, thank you for that one. Finally got to catch a stream live. Do you think in any way Borderlands 4 can be nominated for Game of the Year? I've been having an absolute I can't read. And I've been having an absolute blast, and it might be my favorite release in Cyberpunk. My experience seems to be completely different from the general public. No crashes. Performance has been great, even on launch day with my 4070 Super and i7-12700K. I personally don't think it crosses into the threshold to get nominated, because again, it's about appealing to game journalists, and there's only like 5 or 6 slots, and I think those are going to be filled with like the big names like Claire Obscura, KCD, Blueprints, Silk Song. So I think that there probably won't be room. I'm glad to hear you're having a really good time. A lot of people have had a really, really good time with it. I've really loved my time with Borderlands. It just doesn't run very well, and honestly, if frickin' what's his name just kept his mouth shut and stopped tweeting, it would not be anywhere near as big of a scandal as it would be right now. Like literally, he has put more fuel on that fire than anyone else. It really is insane. It really is insane. 333 from Iraq. Check out Eric's Home. Dude, I love Eric's Home. It's very good. It's very simple, but it also is Steam Deck verified. It's a very good game. I recommend it to people. The Player's Archive, thank you for giving out 5 subs to the community. That's insane. Thank you. Incredibly generous. And welcome everybody who got those. Thank you. Holger Flick, thank you for the sub over on Twitch as well. 14 months. Ooh, baby. Choo choo. That gets 1 boom. Boom. Hell yeah. Thank you, my friend. $30 per month, i.e. $360 that I could purchase games for that I actually own and that you want. That's the problem with subscription models, and it's been the problem with cable and all of these subscription-based systems for a long time, is that there's probably only 1 or 2 things that you want to watch on that, like through TV. Like you might only want to watch The Office. You might only want to watch Severance or whatever. Like there's only a couple shows that you're really interested in. Everything else for you is a waste and you don't care about it. But they put it in there to build out the value to then justify charging you more. But then they need to find some way of paying for all of that. So they raise the price for everybody at the same time. It just doesn't really make sense. Like at some point, it's just more cost efficient to just buy the specific thing you want when you want it. Randy Pitchford, that's it. I couldn't think of his name. Yeah, Randy just needs to put the phone down for real. I'm sure everybody in his life is telling him, like, stop. But he just can't, dude. It's crazy. Shelma, thank you for the sub with Prime as well. Thank you. Thank you. It really is amazing. It's so shocking. I've never seen somebody shoot themselves in the foot so many times. It's really impressive. Ninja Orange, thank you for the 5. Is the Yotei main character better than the Tsushima main character? Because I found Jin very boring. Is she better? Personally, for me, no. They do a lot of work to try and keep her interesting or to explore her backstory and stuff. But personally, I like Jin a lot more. But I will agree that Jin comes off very dry at first. You have to get through like the whole game before you can really appreciate Jin as a character. I could get specific, but I think I'd get into spoilers, so I will keep it there. But yeah, I personally like Jin more. 53 nights. Thanks, Obama. Yeah, for the price hikes. Yeah, thanks, Obama. Come on, man. Wilfredo, thank you for the 5. Hey, Luke, how much of these Xbox price increases have been in play, been a plan by Microsoft way before, like for a year or so in advance? They were always going to raise prices.
John the Tank donated $10 through Super Chat.
Thank you, John.
As a console gamer, PC is starting to become more tempting since I got a good build. I still game on console BC. My backlog of years is still there. I'd hate to just leave it.
You know, sometimes you walk through life hand in hand with another, and the time comes for you to let go. And you look back fondly on the path that you trod with that that person following you. In this case, console following you. But once you've let go and you've continued down the trail and you've progressed farther than you ever thought you could, and you're standing over the vista, you'll pause and you'll look back fondly on your time, hand in hand with another, but you'll be thankful that you let go. Your PC won't abandon you, my friend. Your PC will always treat you right. Until it dies suddenly at night in the middle of a game session with somebody else. And then you have to drive down to Micro Center the next day and frantically try to put it together so that you can stream the next day. But other than that, PC's awesome. Okay. It's fantastic. It's great. It's great. It really, yeah. Other than that, it's great. I encourage everybody, get a PC though. Like seriously, it's going to change your life and you're going to get it and then you're like, oh my God, this is so much better. You're going to hop on Steam and be like, oh, what have we got today? And you're going to see stuff like this. A game that's normally $60 on sale for $6. And you're like, what was I doing all that time? Like, these games are all like still full price on PlayStation and all these other platforms.
Jimbo404 donated $10 through Super Chat. They need to do better showcasing games coming to GameSpass because MGS Delta and Chronos were shown during showcases but didn't end up coming to Game Pass.
Yeah, well, I think I would agree they need to be more clear and better about it, but I don't think they want to be more clear about it because they love for you to think that it's on Game Pass when it isn't. It's the same reason why like PlayStation paid for the marketing rights for Hogwarts Legacy. So you remember in the marketing for Hogwarts Legacy, every trailer started with the PlayStation logo, and then it did the trailer. It was cross-platform. But on launch day, I can't even tell you how many people were shocked that they were able to get it on like PC because they thought it was a PlayStation exclusive because they flashed the logo every single time. So for them, it's a very tactical thing. I think Chronos, I think you're right, that is on Game Pass. But if there's any sort of confusion, that doesn't hurt them. I'm sure that helps. PlayStation does have sales, you're right, but there's been research. I wonder if I can find the comparison. There's been research and people have collected they track the price of individual games across different stores and platforms. So they'll track it across Nintendo, they'll track it across PlayStation, Xbox, and Steam. And they'll see where, like, which platform has the deeper sales, which one has the lower average price and all of that. And without a doubt, Steam is the most affordable place compared to anything else. Like, Nintendo's probably the worst offender. They're really bad about it, like really, really, really bad. And I wonder, I'll have to find the report on it because it was very interesting. I don't remember if we looked at it on stream. But I'll have to dig around for it and find it. But yeah, I mean, it's just, there are sales. Nobody's saying there aren't sales, but the sales tend to be much more aggressive on open platforms where the competition is higher. And when you're competing against like GOG and key sale sites like Kinguin or G2A, like you got to be a little more aggressive, because that's the other piece you can factor in too, is that if I'll confess, when I was dirt broke, yeah, key sale sites like G2A, that was the only way I could afford to get a certain game, was to buy a key through there. Like, that was the only way you could get a game. And I'm not going to judge somebody if they're dirt broke and they want to play a video game to escape reality. Like, go for it. Pirates Bay. Yeah, the well-known other market, Pirates Bay. Oh. Yeah, Humble Bundle. Yeah, Humble Bundles have a ton of stuff. Yeah. Yeah. Let's see. But Wilfredo, going back to what you said with the $5 super chat, thing for that. The price hikes were always in the works. There was never going to be a world in which they go like 5 years without raising prices. They were always going to raise prices. I think for whatever reason, they've decided to raise prices much faster than they were going to otherwise. And that may be because of things like, you know, inflation coming in hotter than elsewhere. It may be that tariffs are affecting the acquisition of like the AI chips they need elsewhere in the company. So they're trying to make up for that by raising prices elsewhere in the company to balance that. There's a lot of moving parts in a company like Microsoft, but for whatever reason, they've decided to not do it incrementally, because I think what everybody expected them to do was go from $20 a month to $22 or to $23 a month. And then in 6 months, go from 23 to 26 and then slowly step it up. But instead, they're just going straight to the end destination of 30, which, let's be real, is not the end destination. And I just find that kind of surprising. It's probably, honestly, it's probably for Black Ops 7. Like, they know a lot of people are going to sign up for Game Pass just for Black Ops. So they're hiking the price just for that. Let's see. Jim, thank you for the 7 months. As someone who is going to re-up Game Pass next month, yeah, this made me hesitant to re-up. Well, I don't blame you. And I think a lot of people are also going, $30. $30. Especially because, like, right now, what are you waiting for on Game Pass? Black Ops? Okay. But if you're going to play Black Ops, that's the one game you're going to play through the rest of this year. It's like, okay, so you can buy Black Ops for $70 on like Steam or whatever and own it and be good. And then in January, February, March, April, you can still play Black Ops and you're not having to spend $30 a month to play it. Like, you can still play it, but you'll be saving money now. And I think that sticker shock of $30 is just enough for them to pause and go, does this really make sense? Like, is this really, does the math still math? Whoops, I scrolled too far. Brushborn, thank you for the 5. Game Pass seriously needs a family plan. My wife and I were already sharing a membership because of the idea of both of us paying was dumb. Yeah, well, they used to have a much more generous family plan, and then they got, or family plan, game sharing system, but then they walked that back like a year ago. I agree they should, but they also know that a lot of people are just going to pay for 2 memberships, and so they kind of shrug it off. It's like, whatever. It's the same reason why they don't want you doing like full annual discounts and stuff like that. Anywho, 100% they will increase Game Pass by the time Elder Scrolls 6 releases. Oh yeah, no, I mean, again, this was always part of the plan. Like, you corner the market, you raise the price. This is always how it's worked. You remember how cheap Netflix used to be? It was a while ago. But when they were competing with cable and trying to win customers over, they went super, super cheap to win people over. And then once they got the market cornered, they raised the prices. Like, it's business 101. It's just, it's not anything surprising. It's just still annoying to see it happen. Let's see. Thank you again, Eric, for the 10. That's very generous. John the Tank, thank you again for the 10 there. Very generous. And same Jimbo. Thank you for that. Kyle, thank you for the 5. Been in transition to PC. It's great, but games like Helldivers will just decide not to work or inexplicable crashes, and I have to just wait for updates. Well, Helldivers specifically has run like ass. I don't know if any of you guys have tried it recently other than Kyle, but yeah, dude, it runs like ass. I don't know what they did or what they didn't do, but it used to be a very well optimized game, and now it's just, I've encountered more bugs playing one night of Helldivers than I did in the previous like year of playing it. It's ridiculous. Charlie, thank you for the 5. Hey Luke, I hope you are well. I know it's soon, but have you heard any word of what's cooking next at Sandfall? Any potential Expedition 33 DLC? I've heard nothing that I would say is like actionable. But I know they are working on something and they are excited about it. So we'll see, but I don't have anything more than that. Fecal excrement, thank you for the 7. Got into KCD because of you. Just finished KCD 1 with 125 hours. About to start KCD 2. Can't wait to see what Warhorse does next. Feeling quite hungry. Dude, you are in for a treat. Because after putting in 125 hours in KCD 1, you're going to see in KCD 2 so many things streamlined that you're going to be like, oh my God, how did I play the first game? Like, it's going to be awesome. It's going to be awesome. I'm envious because experiencing that for the first time is tremendous. I also heavily encourage you, if you have not already, get the expansion pass and play through the game from the start with the DLC. It will significantly enhance your time with the base game in KCD2 if you can like build up the forge while you're going through after Gutenberg. I'd heavily recommend you do that because I've been looking at starting a brand new save in hardcore mode, literally just to experience the game from beginning to end with the expansion. So yeah. Let's see. And then Xander, thank you for the 5. Do you Sucker Punch knew about Shadow's storyline when making Yotei, or were they pissed/surprised when Shadows had a very similar story structure? Do I think they knew? I don't think so. I mean, the reason why the revenge quest is a trope in gaming is because it is something that works. Like, it works. So why mess with it? You know, it's very familiar. We've seen it 1,000 times because it works. And there's nothing necessarily wrong with that. It works. But I can understand why some people are like, oh, we've seen this before. I will say, I think it is much better executed in Ghost of Yotei by like a huge margin compared to in Shadows. In Shadows, it's really, really rushed. It's really rushed, but well, it's weird because it's like rushed, but then it's also way more bloated. It's weird. It's very weird. Pull that up. Okay. Where did I put this? Here it is. Oh, it's Insider Gaming. That's why I was okay. Okay. Samuel, Until Dawn or Quarry first? I'd go Until Dawn first. It's a classic. The Quarry is really fun, but I'd probably start with Until Dawn. It's a classic. Everyone should experience it. Okay, quick little update on this though. Okay. New little segment. Also, shout out Juan for the resub, my friend. Hey, Luke, played a lot of Silk Song and it's good, but if it wins over KCD2 or Expedition 33, Jesus. I will be honest. I love KCD2 and Expedition 33 so much. Anything winning over them will make me a little sad. Like, I'll be like, yeah, I get it. They're good, but I do hope one of those two takes it. As of right now, it's very, very good. But we'll see. News segment. So on Friday, not Friday. Let me try that again. News segment. On Monday, news broke that EA was being sold to a few different groups for $55 billion, and it was going to be taken private. And the general point of the video and reaction I had to it was that I didn't see where they were finding roughly $13 billion of value that nobody else saw. They were buying it at a premium, a significant premium, and they were doing a leveraged buyout. So they're taking on a lot of debt and they have to find a way to make that math make sense. And I don't see it. In the day and a half, 2 days since we talked about it though, there's been more revelations, more things revealed. And, I can't say I'm surprised. Report coming out of Insider Gaming describes this. New EA owners are hoping that AI will cut costs and boost profits, it's claimed. What they said, this is a report initially that's paywalled through the Financial Times. But what they said was the enhanced use of AI will be used as a way to also, quote, boost EA's profits in the coming years. This will allow the new owners to, quote, manage a large debt load on a company that historically carried limited net debt. It really sounds like they looked at EA and thought they have no debt. And they're not really using AI much at all in their development process. That's probably worth $13 billion extra on top of what the company's worth now. Let's buy them and take on the debt. And we can pay for all of that debt and for the premium we paid through AI optimized development and streamlining. And let's be honest, layoffs. That's part of the whole point of AI, is that it replaces people. That honestly seems to be part of the goal. As a result of this, shocker, a lot of people that work over at EA are now quite worried because it seems like this is about to get real dystopian real quick. I genuinely don't know how many people you need to make like a Madden update every year or an FC game update. I don't know if you need 1,000 people. I don't know if that's something that could honestly be streamlined. Maybe they're thinking, oh, we have 50 employees that just track rosters and player stats. Maybe we can just have AI do that for us instead. I don't know. Maybe that's part of the idea. But I think it also means that coming in, they're going to have to cut a lot of the fat that they don't think is viable or turning a profit, because now the stakes have raised significantly. And that's why BioWare staff specifically are worried about the studio's future now. As you can see, there's a few different quotes gathered here in the Insider Gaming article that has come out since this broke down. But this is interesting. Multiple sources within the company have spoken under the condition of anonymity about their feelings over the last 24 hours. Of those who spoke, most believe that BioWare will be one of the first studios to see more cuts when the new group takes over. Again, I can't stress this enough. They've already been decimated. Like after Veilguard, basically the whole Dragon Age team plummeted. Okay, they describe it here. When asked for why they feel that way about BioWare specifically, we'll read the quotes in a second. Almost all of them pointed to the discussions that happened after Veilguard's release. The company's headcount was cut to less than 100 people after having more than 200 the year before in 2023. That's not even decimation. They were halved. A little more than half. The report I saw put the head count at roughly 80. Like it was 80 to 87. It was somewhere in there that worked at BioWare still after Veilguard. But pretty much half the company was working on Veilguard. Half the company was working on Mass Effect. And after Veilguard, all of the Dragon Age people got booted out. Not great for the company, but I mean, the people that remained were optimistic and we're still feeling good about Mass Effect and working on that. But as you can see here, look at the negativity that came after Dragon Age. If we felt it was going to get worse then, you can imagine what some of us think now. Dude, the morale has to be abysmal. The sale of EA to the investor group isn't expected to close until Q1 of fiscal year 2027. Meaning that studios and employees likely have until at least April of 2026 before anything becomes official. That said, there are a few that are already preparing to look for work elsewhere. And I wouldn't be surprised there. I mean, if I worked there, I'd start to look, honestly. Can't blame them. Quote, I've been doing it since last year, but I'm making sure I have a portfolio ready and feelers out there for other jobs. Kind of feels like a matter of time. And when this is why I've said for like Microsoft, when they started laying off people like crazy, even after they put out like, what Tango Gameworks did, they put out a phenomenal game that's received really, really well, sells decently as well. And then they get laid off. Like that's no way to instill confidence in your employees. And now how are you going to do your best work when you're ready to walk away from your desk at any point? Like if you know you're losing your job in a month, are you going to put your heart and soul into the thing you're working on that will take 2 or 3 years to finish? I mean, you'll probably try hard, but like if it's literally just a matter of time, as a lot of these guys are saying, are you expecting amazing work? Like I wouldn't blame them. I don't blame them because they're prepping to get fired. Why would they expect to be here in 2 years if they're like, oh, I don't think it's going to happen? Insider Gaming understands that at one point there were talks of EA looking to sell off the studio, BioWare. Where those ended up, however, is unknown. Regarding where things stand with Mass Effect, they are all working under the assumption that the game is going to come out at the beginning of the year. Only a small team was actively working on it, but more resources had recently started to be put into the game. Quote, we're going to keep working until they tell us we're done. It's not the healthiest way to live, but as long as the paychecks keep coming, We're not going to just walk away. And good for them. I hope that they can put their heart and soul into it as best they can. But I can only imagine the stress that comes with the constant looming hammer right over your head. Like it's got to be miserable. And that's no way to do it. That's no way to make quality pieces of art, you know. In the words of Gus Fring, I do not find fear to be an adequate motivator. And in this case, I think especially when you're dealing with artists, it does not motivate very well. It may work if you're dealing with like software engineers and you need to get a Windows security update posted. That doesn't, like, maybe there it works, but that's not what we're doing here when we're trying to create like compelling stories and narratives and try to create a role-playing game that will captivate people and no doubt discuss like dystopian technology replacing people. You know, I don't think it goes well. So we'll see what comes of that, but you know, this is where they're at. I did see this interesting comment and I screen capped it. Brass Dragon posted on one of our stream clips this. He said, my theory is that under normal circumstances, Veilguard flopping would have ended BioWare, but EA was in the middle of negotiating this deal and couldn't afford the noise that would have generated. So that his theory is that the reason that they didn't shut down BioWare after Veilguard was basically to signal strength and stability while they negotiated this deal, with the expectation that when this deal goes through, it's up to them. They can do whatever they want. Which is not the craziest idea. The one thing that gives me pause is the mentions that more resources had recently been devoted to Mass Effect, which if they expected to just get it canceled when they were bought out, that would be surprising to me that they were putting more resources on it. But it would start to make sense why they wouldn't want to do like a major shutdown right before a buyout. You know, because basically they're trying to, when you're selling something like that, you want to have as many assets on the books as possible so that you can charge more money. If they shut down BioWare, they have to write that off, and that doesn't look great. So if they can keep BioWare as an asset, however valuable they think it is, that's still something that can be bundled into that $55 billion price. Selling BioWare would be interesting, though. That would be very interesting. I genuinely don't know who would come in and scoop them up that you'd even want. Because again, yes, they have a storied history. Yes, they have a legacy of working on some amazing games. But the BioWare that made like Mass Effect 2 is not the BioWare of today. You know? Like they've released 3 back-to-back-to-back flops. So people are like, oh, Larian should just buy them out. And then, you know, they can help them make Mass Effect with their knowledge and skill set. It's like, yes, they could do that. I would more hope that they would go and buy the IP. And then maybe they hire some of the writers and lore masters and stuff. And they come in and they help them build out the next Mass Effect that Larian could make. They could do that, but it's a stretch. It's a stretch, especially when I'm sure they just want to build their own thing. They don't want to be tied to legacy stuff like that. So I don't know. But that's the thing to just remember is that BioWare is not the behemoth it once was. They haven't put out a universally acclaimed game in over a decade at this point. Yes, they did have Game of the Year in 2014. Other than that, it's been flop to flop to flop. So it may not even be one of those studios that a lot of companies would want, because they're like, we're going to buy out the company that like people raged against just like a year ago. Yeah, I don't want to. I don't want to. So there you go. More updates. I find it shocking, but it really seems to be the case that the opportunity they see are AI and cutting costs. That really does seem to be where they think there's an opportunity, and that's just insane to me. But I guess we'll see how it plays out. It won't start, like, we won't see any impact of this until, like they said, it closes like April, May of next year. So we probably don't see any results until next summer. And at that point, we'll see what happens, but who knows? Please do not infect Larian with BioWare employees. Yeah. It's why I said it's not the same company it once was, you know, and so it's not necessarily the case that it will be all upside. Speaking of upside, look at this. This is crazy. I didn't know this, but look at this. New mini-7. This has a Trevor clip written all over it. Trevor's going to love this for short form stuff. Look at this. Blurbs says, I modded Red Dead Redemption 2 so that NPCs have actual memories and you're forced to watch them when they die. Maximum guilt trip. I may have made a mistake letting Twitch chat write the scripts, however. So you kill an NPC and then you are forced to watch flashbacks throughout their life. So you feel terrible. Let's see. Hold on. Unmute. Why isn't it playing? Hold on. Okay.
One day, I'm going to find the greatest treasure of all. I'm going to become the pirate king. I'm going to find the One Piece. The One Piece is real. Son, to be fair, you have to have a very high IQ to understand Rick and Morty. The humor is extremely subtle. Oh, buddy, how I miss my buddy. Wait, how do I say this in dog? Woof, 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 woof. Bork, bork, bork. My child, it's not always about winning the money. It's about the Mets, baby. All right, baby, let's go. Get a home run, baby. Love the Mets. Let's go, Mets.
Did you try to brainwash his child? Howdy, sir.
We're here today to mourn Barry Gunini, the most feared gooner of Wild West. He was able to jam his enemy guns with his...
No. Hey, catch.
Wild West. He was able to jam his enemy guns with his...
No. Hey, catch. Oh my God, he caught it.
Dear daughter, somehow I hope to be able to replace your lonely dadless memories with happy new ones. I will be by...
I might just delete this mod. So, we found a bug. Oh, no! Oh, jeez!
Wow. That's tremendous. That's crazy. That's proper use of AI. I think it is AI for like the voices and stuff. But that's what we should be using it for. Hey, if that's the opportunity that the Saudis see in EA, they're like, hey, we're gonna start doing that. I'm in for that. You know, that's where they think they can make up with AI the massive cost. That I'm down for that. That's interesting. I did not have that on my bucket list. I never ever thought I would see a mod where you see flashbacks of somebody's life after you kill them. I like the idea. Like it humanizes the NPCs. That's kind of cool. I didn't ever think I'd hear a funeral for, what was he? The best gooner in the West.
We're here today to mourn Barry Gunini, the most...
Barry Gunini. The gooner.
...feared gooner of Wild West. He was
the most feared gooner of the Wild West. He was able to jam his enemies' guns with his... Well... That's crazy. That's crazy. Oh man. Well, there you go. Oh wow. I can't get over that. That's wild. Barry Gunini will live on in our hearts and memories. Yeah, dude, he was just walking through town when he's senselessly murdered. Senselessly and viciously murdered. It's really sad. Oh yeah, I saw Walton Goggins, his version of the Ghoul is coming to Fallout 76 as well. I don't know if you guys saw that, but that's like their big announcement for Fallout 76. The Ghoul, voiced by Walton Goggins himself, is headed to Appalachia. Burning Springs is the next big map expansion for Fallout 76, arriving in early December, but public test server starts tomorrow. And honestly, he looks pretty good.
Hello, and welcome to our own personal vault. My name is Richard Stanford, Senior Community Manager here at Bethesda Softworks. And today is a very special day for Fallout 76 because we get to introduce you to the next major update for the game, as well as the biggest map expansion.
I'm down. I just wanted gameplay clips. Oh, Juice
A
had
couple of months
does
ago,
he have
Bethesda-
gameplay. Burning Springs, the ghoul. I just wanted to see the clip of the ghoul. I saw it somewhere. Hold on. The ghoul. Fallout 76. The ghoul. IGN 4 hours ago.
I'd say only. But perhaps the more interesting aspect of this new Burning Springs region will be Highway Town. It's a new hub location that brings players on the servers together to straighten out their in-town affairs. At launch, there may not be vendors in Highway Town though, but Bethesda did say they're looking into adding them later on, if not at launch. However, when you reach Highway Town, fans of the Amazon TV series might notice a familiar face.
Looks pretty good.
Never runs out of bounties.
You still interested in taking a bounty?
Not even the apocalypse will stop Amazon from delivering.
I defer to you about what to do in this situation.
They've gone and shipped everyone's favorite ghoul across a post-apocalyptic United States so he can send you out on a few dangerous missions.
Got no time nor inclination, chit-chat. Find me at the last resort.
The best part? He's fully voiced by actor Walton Goggins, the very same actor that plays Ghoul in the TV series.
More there than I could ever bother with. Unless you're looking for something juicy. Well, that's a whole different ballgame.
Cooper Howard, or Ghoul as he's known in the post-war setting, has a major role to play in Fallout 76's Burning Springs.
No spoilers for all of the player who wants to play Fallout 76 in this chat. I will not spoil it for you. There you go. He's randomly in West Virginia. Yeah, don't concern yourself with logic. Do you know who you're dealing with? This is Bethesda Game Studios, my friend. Don't burden yourself with narrative consistency. Don't burden yourself with what's the word? There's a word for it. Logic. Stop. Enough. Shut up and play. I feel like that should be the motto for a lot of these games. Shut up and play. Just stop. Just shut up and play. Anyway, there you go. There you go. So that's happening. Walton, they got him to make a video for it. What's this?
Hello, everyone. It's me, Walton Goggins, a.k.a. The Ghoul, and Cooper Howard. But we're not here to talk about Cooper Howard today. We're here to talk about The Ghoul, because guess what? I am in Fallout 76, and I can't wait for you to play it. We're here in New York, and we just laid down the tracks, and I've seen what all of these people have been working on for so long, and it's extraordinary. We've had the time of our life, and I just hope you enjoy playing it as much as we did making
Hold on.
it for you. Well, well. Looks like you and I share something more than just an itchy trigger finger, don't it? To be involved with Bethesda or the game Fallout on any level is a feather in my cap. But to be the Ghoul after finishing season 2 in the actual video game itself, there are rainbows coming out of my heart.
Look at it. Dude, he is blinged up. He's got the chains, the necklace, the ring, the date just. He's
Slow
blinged
down,
out.
cowboy. Buy a fella dinner first. We hope you enjoy Fallout 76. It's from the heart.
He's just casually holding his Invisalign. Is that what that is? I think those are his Invisalign. I'm gonna be real. Maybe this is bad of me. I thought these were like dentures or like veneers. I didn't realize that those are his natural teeth. Wow. He has fake teeth. He's had them his whole life. Well, then why does he have Invisalign like retainer things? I don't understand. I don't know teeth stuff, dude. I don't get it. Anyway, not important. I wonder if this is like the whole script. I happen to run a little service for the blurry locale. See, they ain't got anything you blurry suits me fine, mind you, but that blurry unaddressed. Generous soul that I am, I match blurry, bloody-handed individuals like yourself, blurry out. That's a bit highfalutin folks round there. This is how they do it, by the way. Like, it's literally just pages of like the lines, and that's it. Jump scare. Had you pegged from the start. Walton, how dare you? Man, he says blurry a lot. Yeah, the dialogue is really falling off, dude. Yeah, this DLC is not what I thought it was going to be. I did not see, I did not think they were going to go like that, but hey, I'm always in for a dynamic gameplay experience, so I'll give it a shot, I guess. You know, so I'll try it. We'll see what happens. There you go. My guess is, because of how these things normally work, they were able to hire him for an afternoon, so he's probably going to send you on like 3 quest lines, and like that's it. That'd be my guess. Maybe it's way more, but I'm guessing it's going to be pretty minimal. But this just again kind of reaffirms the idea that or Xbox and Bethesda in general, they really truly do believe and view Fallout 76 as the Fallout game for this decade. Like, they don't feel a rush to get a new Fallout game out because that is the Fallout game that you can play right now. We say, like, no, I want a single player, like, standalone narrative one. Like, I'm not interested in the live service, like, fetch quest stuff. I'm just not interested in that. And that's fine, but they don't really care because that's the offering right now. So deal with it. Suck it up and play. Shut up and play. That's the key. That's the key. So, anyway. I'm sorry. YouTube knows me. YouTube knows me really well. Annoying my cat until he gives up the chair. Speed run, no damage, 100% world record. Okay. Interesting tactic. Okay. Oh. I thought this was no damage. This looks like damage. Double Y fakey. Butt sequence, first phase fight, second phase cat scene, foot sequence, handshake, QTE, poke skip. Dude, I love the internet. I love the internet. This is like old school YouTube memes. This is fantastic. Oh, has he done it? Has he done it? Yes. Well done, sir. Well done. That's fantastic. That's fantastic. Oh my God. Okay. Anyway, what was I talking about? I got distracted. Ubisoft and Tencent new studio. That news, Wilfredo, is a little confusing because they phrased it as the new studio revealed by Ubisoft. It's the same thing they announced before that his son is running. So like, it's the same thing. They just put a name on it. So they just now are officially calling it Vantage Studios. It's the same thing we knew about before. It's just now it has a name. So it was initially codenamed Nova. But yeah, it will include the Ubisoft offices in Montreal, Quebec, Sherbrooke, Sanguinet, Barcelona, and Sofia, with the group totaling 2,300 employees. Woof. So yeah, it's a little confusing. Gigabyte Gamer, thank you for the 5. Appreciate you. Thank you. Let's see. Luke, that one of my friends needs to just shut up and play the game. Stop looking at for logic and everything. How dare you? How dare you? I will try. It won't always work, but I will try. Real quick, this is breaking news. Do we have any players of Dune Awakening in the chat? Do we have anybody in here who played Dune Awakening? Either at launch or even still. If you're still playing, even better. Do we have anybody? Any fans? Any players? Me, yes. Oh, good to see. Good to see. Okay, that's good. So I'm glad you're here. I'm glad to see that. Sawi, to be the bearer of bad news, it looks like Funcom is going to have a bunch of layoffs. It appears. So the Tencent-owned studio says it needs to restructure our teams and focus our resources. We've heard that 1,000 times. It's based in Oslo, of course, but they revealed that they're going to be laying off some staff. They said the biggest release we've had in our 32-year-long history of making great games. But then they followed that announcement up with news that they're going to be restructuring. Quote, the game has already shown incredible potential, the statement said, and the right way forward is to focus our internal resources on releasing new content, features, and enhancements. The transition from development to long-term live operation, while also building towards a major console release next year, will require us to restructure our teams and focus our resources from across projects and studios. Unfortunately, this also means having to say goodbye to cherished colleagues. Quote, this difficult process is starting now, and we cannot yet determine exact impact. We are working to find new opportunities for those affected. Our focus now is to provide these team members with the support and guidance they need, and we ask for your understanding at this time, as we will not make further comments during this process. They've not said how many. They've not stressed any of that. They did say that it was their fastest selling game ever, reaching 1 million players around 2 weeks after its launch on PC back in June, and it's scheduled to be released on PS5 and Xbox next year. And of course, they were acquired by Tencent in 2020, which happened. And to a certain extent, this isn't that shocking, because whenever a live service game has been in development for years and years and years, and then it launches, there is a lot of people who no longer are needed, right? Because most companies will have like a live service game, they launch it, and then they support it for a decade before they do the next thing. So if you have people that are like specifically working on building out gameplay systems, they're gameplay animators or something, and they did a lot of work before the game came out building everything, but now it's about like using the tools that you have and adding more content. Those people aren't really needed anymore, so they get laid off. It's similar to what happened, if you remember, Marvel Rivals launched, if you recall that, tremendously successful, and within like a solid couple of weeks, I think it was, they were shutting down an entire studio. I think it was in like Washington or something, or California. And they were shutting them down, firing everybody because they did like map design and stuff like that. And they did map testing and balancing and everything that they didn't need anymore. So even though the game launched, was tremendously successful, they laid off an entire team and shut it all down because they didn't need them anymore. Wasn't necessary. So they cut them all. Even if they were instrumental in getting the game done, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It's just the difference in live service projects, where it's not like a single player studio where you build the game, you release it, then everybody moves on to the next game. You build that, you release it, move on to the next game. It's not like that. It's you build the game, you release it, and then you totally change how you operate to then support it for a decade. It's why Naughty Dog didn't want to do that with The Last of Us Online, because they were like, so we're going to do all of this work, we're going to put it out, and then we will need to basically become a studio that just supports this game forever. And so we won't even really be able to do single player games anymore. And I can't say I'm shocked, but that's just how it goes. So anyway, we'll keep an eye on it, see what happens, because again, we won't hear details until later, but that is happening. That is happening. So be aware. Be aware. Let's see. We got through that. I wanted to look at the Ken Levine interview, but I haven't had time to break it down. If you missed it, Maddie did an interview with Ken Levine and talked about Judas and all sorts of stuff. but I've not had a chance to go through it and like sift through it and see where we want to focus on and talk about. So we'll give it some more time and maybe circle back to it on Wednesday. If you haven't watched it already, you should go, or it is Wednesday, on Friday. If you haven't watched it already, you should definitely go check it out. Show Maddie some of that love. Show Maddie some of that love. Okay. Okay. Dude, I don't know what happened in the last like 2 months, but I've had to do so much more paperwork for like stupid stuff where it's like, oh, you need to file unemployment insurance for all the employees and stuff. And it's like so many hoops, dude. So many hoops. It's ridiculous. Absolutely crazy. Okay. Okay. Talk about that, and then also this. I want to just share this with you guys. Some of you may have seen it, but I want to share it just in case. Narrative Legos. Yeah, exactly. News Emmett. You're damn right. News Emmett, sort of. Luke got laid off. Good thing I filed for the unemployment insurance stuff. Yeah, it's all part of the plan. So whenever a studio has a smash hit, you can usually expect to see them grow and evolve and shift. And sometimes that also is included in getting access to like a new studio. For example, the studio behind AC Mirage, which is Ubisoft. Not Budapest, Ubisoft. What is the name of that? Bordeaux. Ubisoft Bordeaux. They previously were working in a very small place, very small office space. But after Mirage popped off, they had been working on a new studio before that. But after Mirage popped off, they got the full green light, all the money, and they moved over to a brand new studio space. It was beautiful and way bigger. I'm told, I've not been there, but I've been told that it's way bigger and more beautiful. And it also happened with like Bethesda Game Studios, where they used to work in this like little office park, and then they got their own massive building that's been in all of the Starfield trailers and everything, where Todd's standing in the lobby and everything's just shiny and beautiful. And something similar just happened with CDPR. They just moved into a brand new building and they made a video to show it off. And they labeled it Explore CDPR's new building, Home of The Witcher 4. This is what it's about. Let's see where they're making The Witcher 4, what this is like, and be jealous of the coffee bar.
To passionate people from all over the globe is our creative playground.
A couple of years ago, we took a bold step. We began building our own purpose-designed campus.
We started with building the greenest multi-story parking garage. This year, we completed our first brand new building, home to the team creating the new Witcher saga. A couple of things really set the building apart. First, the wooden facade, a rare sight and one we are proud of. And inside, no separate columns, which means we've got complete freedom to adapt the space to whatever we are working on next.
Enhance! Dude, they're all just watching the YouTube video of the gameplay reveal. That's one way to do it. They have these screens blurred. They have those screens blurred. I will not say where I was, but I was at a studio for an event, and somebody did not get the company memo that they were supposed to hide what was on their screen. And I saw a game that is very highly anticipated that maybe comes out next year, probably not until the year after. But I saw it in the works while they're like working on a level playing it. I was like, It was very, very interesting. And then like the PR guy, because usually they'll have the studio tour set up by like the PR guy, and then he goes through and is supposed to make sure that doesn't happen. And so he got very red in the face. And of course, I'm not going to talk about it. Like, it's an honest mistake, but it was just funny. So anytime we see one of these videos in a studio, I'm always like, maybe there's something, but they got it all blurred. This guy's on it, or girl, I can't tell. But yeah, they're on it.
Every floor has balconies open to everyone. And at the very top, there's an incredible relaxation area available with a view over Warsaw.
Connecting with people is incredibly important to us. I really wanted to put the stairs right in the middle so we can all bump into each other more often. And that is also why we put kitchens in the center to create even more.
What did I tell you about the coffee bar? What did I tell you? So many studios I've been to have coffee bars in them.
Caleb donated $10 through Super Chat. No shit. You saw Farming Simulator 27 gameplay.
I cannot confirm that. I cannot confirm that. We can speculate. You can speculate all you want. I cannot confirm that, okay? I'm not saying yes. I'm not saying no. It's so useless. Tell me you don't drink coffee without telling me you don't drink coffee. Coffee is, in the words of Will Ferrell in a tremendous movie. Actually, I think it was Mike Ditka said it first. Coffee is the lifeblood that drives the dreams of champions, okay? It is. It is. And if you don't partake, that's a you problem, frankly. And you're being insubordinate and churlish.
More often.
Mr. Mo, that's why you're my favorite, because you know the reference, yeah.
And that is also...
Look at that, though. Dude, this is very nice. It looks like a coffee bar, but we're like self-serve. I think it was it Ubisoft Quebec, where like they had, because they have like 2,000-3,000 people there or something stupid like that. It's crazy huge. They have a coffee a bar or a coffee shop in the studio with like a full-time barista who's there during working hours. So like you go up and it's a dedicated barista to make coffees for everybody because there's so many people that work there. It's like big enough to basically have its own Starbucks inside. It's crazy.
Why we put kitchens in the center.
Luke, you sound jealous. Dude, can you imagine if I could afford to just have a barista back there? How baller would that be? How baller would that be? Can you imagine? I'm just like, guys, hold on. I wheel myself over there and order a coffee. Let me just whip it up. Here you go. That's some like XQC stuff, though. I bet he could do that. He's got the money for it. One day.
To create even more opportunities to chat daily.
Looking at the exterior, you will notice Poland's largest green wall. We wanted to highlight our connection with nature.
That is beautiful.
We tried to make thoughtful choices for the team, the projects, and the planet. The building is fitted with PV panels. The garage includes numerous charging stations for electric vehicles.
We've also created excellent facilities for people commuting by bike.
Facilities.
Let's talk a little bit about technology. Instead of wasting server heat, we use it to warm our water. Smart and efficient.
Whoa, that's kind of baller, though.
Wasting server heat, we use it to warm our water. Smart.
So they repurpose the heat that their servers generate, and it's what they use to heat the water throughout the building. That's baller. That's kind of cool.
And efficient. And when it's cold outside, we cool the system with fresh air instead of power-hungry chillers. The office is also fully soundproof, ensuring optimal working conditions.
We are especially proud of our own cinema. Seeing our latest projects on a big screen matters a lot to us. The cinema has over 200 seats. We've also installed Dolby Atmos for the best gaming experience.
Many people work hard to reflect the atmosphere of Andrzej Sapkowski's world in every detail. Each floor will represent a different character from the books. We want this building to embody the spirit of CDPR and capture a bit of the magic we put into our world.
It's a reflection of our philosophy, a space shaped by the same passion that drives our games. Because we don't just build digital worlds. We bring that same energy into the world around us.
Rooftop concert.
If that speaks to you, come, build with us.
See, some people are like, why do they do these types of reveals and stuff? It's almost like they're trying to sell something. Yeah. They're trying to sell the studio and the idea of working there to the talent. Games are only as good as the people that are making them at the end of the day, right? So you want to find a way to appeal as a company to the best people in the world. And if you can do that, you'll get the best people in the world. because a lot of people who work in the games industry are very what's the word? Is transient the right word? Like they move a lot. They move for their job. So they'll work in one studio in one country for a few years, and then they would launch that game. And they move to another country to work on a different game. You know, it's a very common thing where people bounce around a ton, you know, just to wherever the work is. And that's what you have to do if you're willing, if you want to climb the ladder and eventually get to the point where you can like direct something. You've got to be flexible. And in this case, I mean, I'd want to work there. That seems really cool. That seems beautiful, like a beautiful space to work. Especially like you get an apartment over there in those buildings, you just commute right over. That's awesome. It's great. A lot of companies will do this because it's not always just about the pay. It's also about selling the amenities and selling the workplace as an overall package. Because typically if you're like world class in your field, if you're like a world class AI engineer or gameplay designer or something, and you're somebody that they really, really want, then they need to find a way to appeal to you beyond just cutting you the biggest check that they can, which to a certain extent they can do that. But, you know, it's just kind of up in the air as to how they pull that off. But yeah, the coffee bar, that for me, that's a selling point. Like, we can offer you 10 times the amount of money you initially asked for. Do you have a coffee bar? No, we don't have a coffee bar, but that max amount you asked us to pay you, we can pay you 10 times that amount. But there's no coffee bar. Well, sir, you could just buy your own coffee. You buy 10 coffees a day and it wouldn't put a dent in the pay you're getting now. But there's no coffee bar. We'll just continue beating this dead horse until it's gone, until I can afford to get a coffee bar. I can hope and dream. I can hope and dream. Oh, dude, this feels kind of expensive, or this feels kind of insensitive. After the price hikes today, they just raised the price of the 2 terabyte Xbox Series X by $200. It's now an $800 console. And they also just raised the price of Game Pass by 50% for the Ultimate tier. And then Xbox posts this. Just landed, now available as certified refurbished consoles. Does it feel like a little tone deaf? Like just maybe it's the opposite. Maybe it's so on point. They're like, yeah, no, you're complaining about the price hikes. Buy it refurbished. Like it feels weird. For less than $800, I wouldn't be surprised. How much is this? Is it still more than the new one was previously? Yep. Dude, the refurbished one now costs $680. The previous price for this was like $600, wasn't it? I'm pretty sure this is a solid $80 more than it was to buy it brand new a month ago. Like what? Man, I just don't understand. I just don't understand anymore, man. I just don't get it. There's so many of these things where you're just like, what are we doing, guys? What are we doing? Again, typically in business, if something doesn't make sense, there's a piece of the puzzle that you're missing. And in this case, I'm like, what is it that I'm missing? Why is it? Do they really want you to just go buy a PC? Is that really what they're like banking on you doing? How does that ultimately help them? Or is it that their numbers are showing them that like customers are so entrenched in the ecosystem that they'll get away with it and it doesn't matter? Maybe. I don't know. The cyberpunk version of the studio is like working for Arasaka. That'd be interesting. Well, it reminds me of the you remember in those old Assassin's Creed games like AC, even Black Flag, where they have the whole segments where you're walking around in Abstergo and it's like a video game company and it's like this is just Ubisoft, isn't it? This is just Ubisoft, I'm pretty sure. It's very on the nose. I canceled my Game Pass today. Well, dude, earlier when we did the poll, the majority of people who responded and had Game Pass subscriptions were canceling or were about to cancel or already had canceled their memberships. Only like 25% of people said that they were keeping their subscriptions. Now, people can say whatever they want in a poll. Could just be, nonsensical, but still, it's interesting. There's certainly a lot more rage about this than there was with the last price hike. We've got updates. Here's what's changing for Xbox Game Pass. We've listened to your feedback. Genuinely, what feedback could have possibly led you to a 50% price increase? Yeah, we heard you guys. We've listened. You want to pay more. We've got you. We've got you. Like, who is saying that? Who's responsible? They find the one guy on Twitter with like, user 10495276 1048. And it's like, oh yeah, no, he said it. So we listened to that feedback. You're welcome. It's ridiculous, man. Absolutely ridiculous. No, you don't understand. You get more, but for less now. Exactly. Thank you, and Simon Shepard also for the 2. Thank you. Krieg Zeus, thank you for the 2. Radiated Coffee, CDPR confirmed making New Vegas. Boom, locked in. I don't even want to think about that because, dude, I can only imagine how freaking incredible that would be. But man, I wish. Okay. Can't wait for people to defend $50 a month this time next year. Well, it's gonna go up again. I mean, it always does. They're not gonna magically stop because they were aggressive on this one. If they do this and like people don't really cancel and they get away with it, like they'll just do it again. They'll just do it again because that's what they do. Okay. I got through all that. Shockingly, we didn't have a ton of technical issues either, and I was kind of braced for that. And so that's quite nice to see. Do I have hold on, I gotta pull up the giveaway because we got to draw a winner for the PS5 Pro. I think it's gonna make me go to the other Windows profile. Please hold. I gotta pull this up because we have to announce a winner. Okay. Close that. And we're gonna do this live. We'll do it live, damn it. We're gonna see who won. There we go. What was the final number on the entries for this month? Let's see. Final number for the entries was 55,800, roughly. 55,800. Now, how this works for everybody who's confused is that I press a button. The app automatically picks a winner, digs through it, finds it, and will send an email to the winner. Last time I also doubled up and I sent an email directly to the winner as well from my end so that they could double up on it. At that point, they have a period to respond to the email and claim the prize, basically. International winners are possible, just like has been on the page from the start. Check rules section 16. And basically, that just states that if you win and you're an international winner, basically it'll either be sent to you through a local vendor that can ship to you, or it will be sent, the monetary value will be sent to you through PayPal. And if you don't have access to PayPal, then you, like, that's up to you. But as has been in the rules from the start, the obligation is on you to get that set up. Okay. Dems to rules. Dems to rules. Let's see. How do I do this? I forgot. Okay. Draw. Live draw. There is the only other exception, which is that if we find out you cheated and like entered 50 times, that it can technically void out, but I don't think that's going to be a problem. So I think we'll be okay. I have to state all this to be clear. Otherwise people will, you know, be like, oh yeah, I used my mom's email address and my brother's and my dad's, and so I won. I can't believe it. Don't tell me that. Don't tell me that. Ava Luck, by the way, thank you for the sub with Prime. Thank you. Thank you. Appreciate you. Are you ready? Are you ready? This is it. One click for one PS5 Pro. This is the moment. This is the moment. So you're saying to cheat, just not to tell you. I will say Sweep Widget is aggressive with their anti-cheat stuff. Dude, they scrubbed a bunch of entries because people were trying to cheat. You can tell this is what this app is for. They do not mess around with it. They are aggressive. Okay. You ready? You ready? Here we go. Let's see. Shivam Bailwal. If you're here with us, hanging out, congratulations. Congratulations. If you are not and you're watching, that's awesome. Glad to have you. If you watch the recap, congrats. Congratulations. How this will work, again, is that you will go and check your email that you entered this with, and you will get an email, and we can coordinate everything, and we can get you your PS5 Pro or the monetary payout in line with the value of the console, so you can get it from your local provider. Okay. Congratulations. My plan is to do another giveaway very, very soon. I would say right now, but I forgot to set it up. So I will have another giveaway to announce shortly, and we can get the ball rolling there. Yes, it's going to be good. So buckle up, everybody. Much love. Thank you for watching and hanging out. Congrats to Shivam. If Shivam is not able to claim it or verify like the entry, because a giveaway a long time ago, we had an issue where somebody entered the giveaway and then they like misplaced their email address or something, like they couldn't log into it. And I was like, okay, so I don't know if it's you that won or somebody else and you're just pretending to be the person. But if for some reason Shivam cannot claim the gift, or the prize, we just pick another winner and we redraw. So if I'm back on Friday and we need to do that, we'll do that. But congrats to Shivam, and keep an eye on your email. We can get you the console and move forward from there. So anyway, thanks for watching. Thanks for hanging out with me. We'll be back on stream on Friday, rocking and rolling, okay? Hopefully the PC won't die again. Fingers crossed. Much love. See you soon. Hugs and kisses. Bye-bye.